Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of Christie Farni. Christie Lynn Farni, born January 18th, 1972, disappeared December 14th, 1978. She went missing in Medford, Oregon after testifying before a grand jury regarding abuse allegations against her biological father. She was only 6 years old at the time. Serial killer Henry Lee Lucas was implicated in her disappearance in 1983, but his alleged involvement was not confirmed. Her case is the oldest unsolved missing child case in Jackson County. So she was 6 years old and she testified before a grand jury against her father, Kenneth Farni, on December 14, 1978, regarding abuse allegations brought against him. After testifying, Farni returned to her foster home, meaning Farni, meaning Christie. I don't know why they said that when that's both their last names, where she had been residing for only 3 days before departing on foot to Jackson Elementary School. Christie was reported missing that afternoon after she failed to return home from school, and it was revealed that she never made it to school that day. An alternative report in 1979 stated that Christie was seen playing with another young girl at the YMCA in Medford. Both her father and stepfather reportedly cooperated with law enforcement, and polygraph examinations were given to both. Her biological mother had died the year before her disappearance in a motorcycle accident. On December 16, 1983, it was reported that a remote area on the California-Oregon border was being searched, potentially for Christie's remains. Serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, a drifter, alluded to having abducted and murdered Christie, but the locations indicated by Lucas where her remains could allegedly be found proved fruitless. At the time, Lucas had claimed to have murdered as many as 165 people in the United States, mainly women, beginning at the age of 13. Her half-brother, who had lived with her and her father during the time she disappeared, committed suicide at an undisclosed date. In 1994, her father died in a traffic collision. In 2008, the Medford police report reopened her case, Christie's case, which is the oldest missing case in Jackson County. And there you can find information. And it does mention the Doe Network, but the Doe Network is down right now. So there's a Charlie Project, and it says Christie Lynn Farni, missing since December 14th, 1978, from Medford, Oregon, non-family abduction. But I don't know how they know that, so it could have been a family abduction. 6 years old, 3'8", 50 pounds, Caucasian female, brown hair, brown eyes, or something to do with the family. She has a burn scar on her chest. Her ears are pierced. I would think it was related to her testimony, but that's just speculation. Her mother died in a motorcycle accident. She told authorities that her father, Kenneth Ray Farni, physically abused her. She and her brother were placed in foster care in the 50 block of Peach Street in Medford, Oregon. She testified before a grand jury regarding her allegations on December 14, 1978. She was last seen walking alone to Jackson Elementary School later that morning. She never arrived as scheduled, and she's never been heard from again. Her and her brother had been living in the foster home for only 3 days prior to her disappearance. Her school allegedly called her foster parents at 1:30 p.m. on the day of her disappearance and told them Christie had never arrived to class, but the police were not notified until after 4 p.m. Her father and stepmother cooperated with the investigation into her disappearance, and they were ruled out as suspects. I don't even know where to go with that. Kenneth was cleared of the child abuse in his daughter's case because, of course, she's missing. And he moved to California sometime after Christie went missing. He died in a car crash in 1994 at the age of 47. Her only surviving immediate family member was her brother. Her case was reopened in recent years. 2 individuals confessed to her supposed murder some years before, but they now believe those people were not connected. Authorities speculate that Christie may have been abducted by an unidentified family member and either murdered or hidden in a safe location. Some of her relatives have suggested her foster family was involved. However, there are no suspects in her disappearance. Christie's family members reside in Oregon, Michigan, Arizona, and California. Officials stated that they re-interviewed her relatives in recent years. Her disappearance remains unsolved and is still classified as a non-family abduction. How horrifying. So here's Jane Doe in Overton, Nevada, age 3 to 7, found February 9th, 1995. Um, They cannot estimate the height or the weight. Two individuals were hiking in the area of Old Simplet Mill site in Overton, Nevada, when they entered a cave and discovered a small skull. The site was known for being an old Indian burial region. However, the skull was determined to be more recent death, not deemed historical remains, and they don't know who that could be. But it is a child, 3 to 7 years old, and it is listed as female. Then there's a female, Pecos, Texas, age 5 to 7. The body was found July 8th, 1984. A white Caucasian female, about estimated height 3 foot 4 inches. Cannot estimate the weight. They believe she died probably around 1980, 1981, according to the estimated PMI. So, and sometimes they have an estimated PMI, but they don't have an estimated year of death, so they're not sure. Because this one doesn't have an estimated year of death, and it doesn't say between this year and that year, which they normally would. So I'm not certain if that PMI is correct or not. So they found the skeletal remains of a 6 to 7-year-old female girl near Fort Stockton, Texas. Partial skeletal parts only, and they don't know who that is. And then there was also a young girl that ages 4 to 5 years old, estimated age, Bombay Beach, California, found in 1994. Oh, estimated PMI 50 years. That's probably not her. Not recognizable. And they don't know who that is. So if you have any information about what might have happened to Christie Lynn Farni, even if you gave the information to investigators years ago, or you heard somebody talking and drinking, you're not sure if it's true or if it's accurate, it's just hearsay. It's not like you're going to court. You're just giving them information to help them solve a case. So I would go ahead and give them any information that you have and just let them know that, where you heard it, or if you're not sure where you heard it, that type of thing, especially if you're through relatives and loved ones. Because I feel like people drink and talk over the years. And if you know who any of these unidentified females, these little girls that they found their remains in these different areas, if you know who they could be, please contact authorities and let them know. Maybe you know somebody who was a child that went missing in one of these areas that you think that it could be them. So please contact authorities with any information that you have. Please feel free to pray for their loved ones and their family and the investigators, and leave comments if you'd like. And thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day. Bye-bye.